Have you ever imagined a moment of success so many times that it felt almost magical? Maybe you told yourself that when you finally reached a certain goal, everything would change. You would feel confident, happy, proud, and complete. You believed that all the hard work, stress, sacrifices, and sleepless nights would suddenly make sense. For years, you carried a picture in your mind of what success would feel like. It was not only about achieving something, it was about becoming someone. But what happens when that moment finally arrives and it does not feel the way you imagined? What happens when you reach the destination and discover that the emotions you expected are not there? This experience is more common than many people realize, yet very few people talk about it honestly. Most of us grow up believing that success is the answer to many problems. We learn to connect happiness with achievement from a very young age. Good grades promise a better future. A good job promises security. More money promises freedom. Recognition promises confidence. Because of this, we spend years chasing goals while imagining a future version of ourselves that will finally feel satisfied. The problem is that while we are busy dreaming about success, we often create unrealistic expectations about what it can actually do for us. We begin to treat success like a magical solution instead of what it really is, a single event or achievement in a much larger life story. The journey toward a goal is usually filled with strong emotions. There is hope, excitement, fear, and determination. Every day feels meaningful because there is something important ahead of us. We wake up with a clear purpose. Even when the work is difficult, we feel motivated because we are moving towards something we want. In many ways, the dream itself becomes a source of energy. We imagine how wonderful life will be once we arrive. We picture ourselves celebrating, feeling proud, and finally becoming happy. These thoughts help us continue when things become difficult. However, because we spend so much time imagining the future, we sometimes create expectations that reality cannot match. When success finally arrives, the moment is often much shorter than expected. Maybe you receive the promotion you wanted. Maybe your business grows. Maybe your channel reaches a milestone. Maybe you graduate from university or buy your dream home. For a few minutes, hours, or days, you feel excited. You smile. You celebrate. Other people congratulate you. Everything seems perfect. But then something surprising happens. Life continues. The next morning arrives. You wake up, brush your teeth, check your phone, and continue your routine. Suddenly, you realize that you are still the same person. The achievement is real, but the dramatic emotional transformation you expected never happened. This realization can be confusing. Some people even feel guilty about it. They ask themselves, why am I not happier? They wonder if something is wrong with them. After all, they worked so hard for this moment. They believed it would change everything. Yet instead of feeling complete, they feel strangely normal. Sometimes they even feel empty. The reason is not that the achievement has no value. The reason is that human emotions do not work the way we often imagine. Happiness is not a permanent state that appears after reaching a goal. It is an emotion that comes and goes, just like every other emotion. There is another reason why success sometimes feels disappointing. During the journey, the goal gave us direction. It gave us something to focus on every day. Once we achieve it, that direction suddenly disappears. Imagine climbing a mountain for years. Every step has a purpose because you're trying to reach the top. Then one day, you finally arrive. The view is beautiful, but after a while, you begin to ask yourself a new question. What now? The challenge that once filled your mind is gone. In its place, there is uncertainty. Many people mistake this feeling for failure, but it is actually a natural part of growth. Sometimes success also reveals problems that achievement cannot solve. A person may believe that becoming successful will remove their insecurity. Another person may think that earning more money will make them feel worthy. Someone else may expect recognition to heal years of self-doubt. Yet when success arrives, they discover that these deeper emotional struggles are still there. The promotion cannot replace self-acceptance. The money cannot automatically create inner peace. The applause from others cannot silence every fear inside your mind. Success can improve your circumstances, but it cannot do all the emotional work that we often expect it to do. Social media makes this experience even more difficult. Every day, we see images of successful people smiling beside awards, expensive cars, beautiful homes, or large audiences. These moments create the impression that success leads directly to happiness. What we rarely see are the emotions that come afterward. We do not see the doubts, the pressure, the loneliness, or the questions that often follow achievement. Because of this, many people believe they are the only ones who feel disappointed after reaching a goal. In reality, countless successful individuals have experienced the same thing. They simply do not talk about it very often. Another surprising truth is that success can create new pressures. Before achieving something, your biggest concern is whether you can reach the goal. After achieving it, a new fear appears. You begin to wonder whether you can maintain it. You worry about losing what you gained. You feel pressure to perform at the same level again. Sometimes the success that once seemed exciting becomes a source of stress. People start expecting more from you. You start expecting more from yourself. The finish line you worked so hard to reach suddenly becomes the starting line for a new challenge. This does not mean success is meaningless. Far from it. Achievements matter. Hard work matters. Reaching goals can improve our lives in many important ways. The problem is not success itself. The problem is the unrealistic emotional expectations we attach to it. We often expect one achievement to solve problems that require much deeper attention. We expect a goal to provide lasting happiness, permanent confidence, or complete satisfaction. When reality does not match those expectations, we feel disappointed. But perhaps the lesson is not that success failed us. Perhaps the lesson is that we misunderstood what success was meant to do. True satisfaction often comes from places we overlook while chasing achievements. It comes from meaningful relationships, personal growth, gratitude, and a sense of purpose. It comes from learning who you are rather than constantly proving yourself to others. These things develop slowly over time. They cannot be purchased, awarded, or unlocked through a single accomplishment. Ironically, many people discover this only after they achieve the thing they thought would finally make them happy. Success teaches them that external achievements and internal fulfillment are not always the same thing. There is also beauty in realizing that success is not the end of the story. If one achievement could completely satisfy us forever, life would become strangely empty. Human beings are naturally curious. We continue learning, growing, and exploring. The reason we often feel restless after success is not because we are broken. It is because growth never truly ends. Every goal teaches us something, but it also opens the door to new possibilities. The challenge is learning to enjoy the process instead of believing that happiness exists only at the finish line. Many people spend years postponing their happiness. They tell themselves they will relax when they get the promotion. They will feel proud when they reach a certain income. They will enjoy life after achieving a specific goal. But life happens while we are waiting. If we cannot appreciate the present moment, success alone will not suddenly teach us how. The habits of our minds usually travel with us. If we constantly focus on what is missing today, we may continue focusing on what is missing tomorrow, even after achieving something extraordinary. Perhaps one of the most important lessons is learning to separate our value from our achievements. Success is something you do. It is not who you are. When people build their entire identity around accomplishments, every achievement becomes responsible for proving their worth. This creates enormous pressure and often leads to disappointment. But when you understand that your value exists regardless of your latest success or failure, achievements become healthier. They become goals to pursue, not emotional lifeboats that must save you. The next time you reach an important milestone and it does not feel exactly the way you imagined, try not to see it as a failure. Instead, see it as an opportunity to understand yourself more deeply. Ask what you were truly hoping success would give you. Was it security? Acceptance? Confidence? Peace? Then ask whether those things might require a different kind of work. Sometimes the most valuable part of success is not the achievement itself. It is the clarity that comes afterward. It shows us what really matters and what does not. In the end, success is often much quieter than our imagination predicts. There may be no dramatic transformation, no permanent happiness, and no magical feeling of completeness. Instead, there is a moment of achievement followed by another ordinary day. At first, this realization may seem disappointing, but it can also be freeing. It reminds us that life is not a single destination. It is a continuous journey filled with learning, relationships, challenges, and growth. Success can be a wonderful part of that journey, but it was never meant to carry the entire weight of our happiness. And perhaps the moment we stop expecting it to do so is the moment we begin to appreciate both success and life for what they truly are.